the drums there. 37. It's going to have to be very quick indeed.
So Sandy Morris attempting 488, first attempt. Oh yes, oh yes. This is her night of nights, really. And she has a personal best of 493, but this is getting very, very close. And she is looking very strong. 482 first time, 488 first time. Had one failure at 476, passed her second attempt. That is very, very good vaulting indeed. The Olympic silver medalist going very well. Diamond League record.
Back to this steeplechase then, the water jump for the first time. Concesnos Kipruto in third place. Jaeger, the tall figure, in fourth place, tucked in right behind him. It is single file for the first 10 or 12. That's how quick it is. Kipsang in fifth place behind Dort and Koech, who go 1-2. Then Kipruto, Jaeger, Kipsang, Kibiwat in sixth place. El Bakali in seventh place, who was one of the surprise packages in Rio. He finished in fourth place, the Moroccan. I've hardly heard of the fella. He's only 20 years old. My notes here say, who is this guy? Astonishing performance from him in Rio to come out of the relatively anonymous ranks of the middle distance fraternity and take fourth place, although the gap's appearing now pretty quickly, it has to be said, because it is quick. There's no doubt about it. They've covered 2 laps. Concesnos Kipruto, with that somewhat awkward hurdling style of his, he sort of throws his legs to one side. And Jaeger, in contrast, looks quite majestic. He's a lovely, tall, loping style he's got. 1 foot on the barrier. The Kenyans tend to clear it completely without putting a foot on the barrier, the water jump. But the 1K time is important to give us feedback.
Mayonga in the long jump, already leading with 8:24. This is his second jump. Mayonga, season's best 8:37. That was set in the Olympic Games. That lovely hitch kick, and that's another fine jump, well over 8 meters. Silver medalist in Rio de Janeiro, 8:37 on that occasion. Been around some time. Look at the height he gets on that. And because he gets the height, he can use that hitch kick technique, and it's all about preventing the rotations in the air. And that is 8:26, the makings of a terrific series, isn't it?
Well, the first kilometre was flown, 2:39.54, and I say that in the context of this being a world record attempt. We really wanted 2:37, 2:38. Poor Kipsiele Koech has hit the front now. Dot there, goes down heavily. Oh, my word. That's the last thing you need. He's only pacemaking for 2.5, 3 laps, and he couldn't get that barrier right. What a shame. Must feel awful. Thank goodness he's not troubled anybody behind him other than a slight swerve, and he moves on. But just a click inside 2:40 for the first kilometre, and Kipruto now has hit the front. Jaeger in his wake with 4 laps to run. Now, this is exactly what Jaeger needs. It may not be what Kipruto wants, because Jaeger here could almost treat Kipruto like a pacemaker for this second half of the race. 4 minutes on the clock.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tim, the confidence that must have given Jaeger from that Olympic performance. And we've seen him close to 8 minutes before. He really is an athlete with lots and lots of confidence now. His hurdling technique's good over those barriers, so he's not using as much energy as the rest, as Kibiwat and Bakar come over, along with Bet and the rest. But there is a big gap now between the leading 2. And Kipruto came through. He's only 21, as Tim has said. He's former world junior champion, and my goodness me, he's moved so quickly. Mature beyond those years to the senior ranks.
Well, that's about a 30-metre gap now back to the chasers. Evan Jaeger. Concesnos Kipruto, we understand from his agent, has fabulous flat speed. He says he's capable of under 48 seconds for 400 metres. Hasn't tapped or scratched the surface, really, of his middle distance ability. If that is the case, he should be capable of a world-class 800 and 1,500 metres. But Concesnos Kipruto is only a personal best at 59.
He's so quick and gets terrific height off the board. Look at that, 2.5 hitch kick, another one. And looks at me, it'd be another very good 8-meter plus. He's got the white flag. Looking, he'd be way beyond 8:30, of course. Hits the ball beautifully. That's nice, but I'm just amazed by the amount of height he gets. That's terrific stuff. Now then, what's it coming up at? It's another 8:28, I can tell you. So that's 8:24, 8:26, no jump, and 8:28. What a series.
Just under 2 laps to go. 2 kilometres was reached in 5:21.72. That effectively kills off any chance of a world record. They really needed a very quick middle kilometre, and it just hasn't unfolded. Strange, really, that they didn't go for it when it was headlined as a world record attempt, and his agent's been quite happy to discuss that with the media over the last few days. But the water jump for the penultimate time, and Jaeger pulling up alongside Concesno's Kipruto there. Might yet break 8 minutes if they can really hack it through this last 500 metres or so. We've got a real race in our hands with Bet in 3rd place, now quite isolated. Kibby Watt in 4th. Nakisi Benabad in 5th. Bohr in 6th for the USA, who had such an impressive run in Rio as they hit the bell. But this has been perfect pacemaking for Jaeger by Concesno's Kipruto.
Absolutely, and Jaeger can finish. We've seen that. We've shown his fatigue in the final stages and barriers before, but this time there's a new confidence in the man. 300 to go.
A little bit vulnerable as he comes into the straight on the shoulder of Kipruto. The crowd rise to their feet, roaring these two home. It's going to be a charge off the final barrier. But Concesno's Kipruto looks wonderfully relaxed. He's got the legs to beat the American there as he crosses the line. Benabad finishing strongly for 3rd place, and in 4th there was Bet, in 5th Bohr, the Olympic 7th placer. Andy Bayer comes home, a good solid run from him in around 8:20. But I tell you what, we talk again and again, we commentators, we fall into the trap